Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. So today we will see a concept of reinforcement learning in machine learning. So usually we will call this reinforcement learning as RL. Okay, and this is a type of machine learning which will be used to learn using a trial and error methods. So trial and error method. That means here there will be no rules given by the user. So the machine will be generating a rule based upon the experiences. Okay. So learns and improve from the feedback. From the feedback. Right. So it will learn and it will improve from the experiences or feedbacks. Okay, so these feedbacks will be in the form of rewards or penalties. So if there is a positive feedback, then there will be a reward, and if it is a negative feedback, there will be a penalty. So from this particular result, it will learn and improve. So here machine, we will be calling it as a machine, and here it will be calling it as an agent. Okay, so the definition of reinforcement learning means, so machine interacts with an environment. So here there will be an environment. So first it have to interact with the environment, and then it have to take the actions, and it will get the feedback for that actions, so that from the feedback it will improve its efficiency. So the definition of reinforcement learning means the machine interact with the environment, takes the actions, and get the feedback and improve its efficiency. Okay, so the components which are being used in this particular reinforcement learning is, the first one is an agent, so which we are calling it as a machine. We can simply say it as a machine or a decision maker. Okay, and the next one is an environment in which we are going to use this particular learning technique. Okay, and then actions, so the work to be done, and next, rewards means a feedback that can be either positive feedback or a negative feedback. Next, uh, state, the next one is a state, so which will be the improving the efficiency based upon the rewards. So example for this particular thing, the applications where we are using here is, so uh, product recommendations, self-driving cars, games like chess. So in all these cases, it will be learning through the feedback. Okay, a simple real life example, let me say. So if a child wants to uh, ride a bicycle, okay, know to ride the bicycle. So initial stages, the child may fell down. Okay, from that experiences, after some amount of time, so the child will be able to balance the riding of bicycle. So himself, the child is being learned from the experiences. So that is called as a reinforcement learning. So let us take this one as an example, product recommendations. Okay, so here the product recommendations, agent is a machine, and environment. So which environment? Say e-commerce platform, right, where we are buying the products. So it's an e-commerce platform, which is an environment. So it will understand the environment. Actions, so purchase or user behavior. Next, rewards means, so buying the products from the recommendations, and this one improves the efficiency. It one is an improves the recommendations, better recommendations, better recommendations. Okay, so what is the working, how it works? So generally the first one, let us take this one as an example, product recommendations. Okay, so working on an example, right? So step one, what is the step one? Observes user behavior. User behavior, it observes the user behavior. So that means in terms of purchased products, search, okay, time spent, etc. All these are the observations done on the user on that e-commerce website. Next, step two. So based upon the observations, some products will be recommended. Okay, so products recommended. Recommended. So products recommended means, see, if a person buy a mobile phone, okay, so person buy mobile, then recommendations will be pouches, cables, earbuds, screen guards, etc. Right? All these will be the recommendations for that person who bought the mobile phones. Okay. So step two will be this one. Step three, receive a feedback. So receive a feedback means reward. What is that reward? What is that reward? So if person bought from recommendations, that means, so whenever the machine recommends some products, if the same person bought some pouches and screen guards, so that will be the positive feedback. Okay, and if a person skip or ignore, so if a person who bought a mobile ignores the pouches and ignores the screen guards and everything, so that is nothing but negative feedback. So which we are calling it as a penalty. This is a reward and this is a penalty. So we are saying that this is a reward. So the positive feedback will be the reward, negative feedback will be the penalty, right? So that is a step 3. And step 4, what is a step 4? Learn and improve. So from this feedback, if it is a reward, that means if it is a positive feedback, so it will be keep on revising and recommending the similar kind of products, so which works perfectly. And if there is a negative feedback, if there is a penalty, automatically the machine will change its strategy and it changes the recommendations. Okay, so that is the 4th step, that is a learn and improve. So this is the reinforcement learning. So learning from experience or learning from feedback. Okay, so after some amount of time, so the machine will be able to take a better decisions from the feedbacks taken, right? So this is the reinforcement learning. So now we'll see what are the advantages. So what is the advantage of using this reinforcement learning? Advantages, the first advantage, so it handles the complex problems because learning with an experience, right? It handle a complex problems. complex problems. No need of labeled data. Not necessary, right? It is not necessary of labeled data. It can have its own, right? Next, better decisions. Can take a better decision making. Better decision making, right? So these are all a few examples and a few advantages of using the reinforcement learning. And coming to the disadvantages, there are a few disadvantages also. So what are those disadvantages? The first one, time consuming. So in order to take an action and get the feedback and improve itself, so it is a lot of time taking process, okay, time consuming. And the next one, expensive computation. So a lot of computations will be done, so it will be some expensive. So if it is a time consuming, automatically it will be a time expensive computation. So here the expensive means not only for the cost, even if it is a time consuming, that also we can say it as an expensive, right? Next, and the next one is need lot of training. So all these cases cannot be done in a single step, right? So it have to recommend a more number of products, and it need to get a more number of feedbacks, and from more number of feedbacks it will be improves its efficiency, decision making efficiency. So that is a needs a lot of training for this particular reinforcement learning. So simply we can say reinforcement learning is a technique where machine interact with environment and takes action and improve efficiency from the feedback. So this is a simple definition for this reinforcement learning. It's a technique which is an ML technique, machine learning technique. Machine learning technique where machine interacts with the environment. First it interacts and then it takes an actions and then improves the efficiency from the feedback given for the actions, right? So hope you understood this reinforcement learning. So let's stop here, and if you really enjoyed the session, like my session, share my session with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.